beautiful human, and welcome back to my channel. This week's video is going to be short and sweet for two reasons. First reason is I have been thinking about how to bring you guys shorter form content, so maybe uploading twice a week instead of once a week, but that second video being something like short and sweet, which is what prompted this idea of nuggets from your favorite mental health therapist. That is what we're leaning towards in terms of short form content. And so if you guys like this, it is hopefully just like maybe a 5 to 10 minute little kickstart to your day. Second reason is tomorrow I'm running my second half marathon and I am pumped. I have everything laid out and ready to go, from my shoes to my post-race outfit. If you know me, you know I cannot stand to be in wet clothes. So I have learned on my long run journey that I need to pack a second pair of clothes because I cannot enjoy the post-run atmosphere in wet clothes. I have to change. So from my post-run outfit to my gels to my salt tablets, like literally everything is packed and ready to go. I've got some electrolytes in the fridge and my bottle of water that I'm going to run with. So I'm like ready to go. Next thing I need to do is shower and get in the bed and put my feet up. But I'm super excited. So let's hop right into this week's video with nugget number one. I want you to stop thinking of good and bad emotions. There is no such thing as a good or a bad emotion. Our reactions to our emotions can be either positive or negative. However, the base emotions as a whole, there is no good and bad spectrum. Only what you do after you have the emotion. Therefore, I want us to reconceptualize, rethink, reframe how we label emotions. I like to label emotions with my clients as hard and soft emotions. Why hard and soft, Angie? I like hard and soft emotions because soft means things that are easy to lean into, things that typically are comfortable to lean into, things that don't cause our anxiety levels to shoot through the roof. So we like, typically soft emotions are like happy, excited, sometimes those like good nerves, like the ones I'm having right now before a half marathon. Those are easy emotions to typically lean into. Hard emotions are the more complex emotions. So we have grief, anger, frustration, embarrassment, jealousy. All of those are emotions that are normal to feel. However, they are a little bit more hard and complex in nature. So when we're talking about emotions, something I tell my clients quite often is get out of the mindset that there are good and bad emotions. There are only good and bad reactions to your emotions. However, emotions themselves are not bad. There is no range of emotion that is bad. I say this all the time. Like if you just met somebody that was capable of always leaning into good emotions, you would probably think they're psychotic. Like if you saw somebody who was consistently happy all the time, regardless of what life threw at them, they always were optimistic, they always had a positive outlook, you would be like, you are unwell. I mean, I know I would. I would be like, what is going on? So people, we as human beings who experience this thing called life, need to have a range of emotions. Therefore, the emotions that we feel can never actually be bad. Our reactions, our responses to our emotions is what we can classify as positive or negative reactions. So reframe, sorry y'all, the Alexa went off. Reframe your mindset to hard and soft emotions, and understand that there is such a wide range of emotions to feel, and that's okay. So when you feel that wide range of emotions and you're leaning more towards the red side of your emotions, that they're not bad emotions, they're just hard emotions to figure out. They are hard emotions to unpack. They are not bad emotions. Nugget number two for you guys is recognize the difference between functioning and thriving and be appreciative for both seasons. So there is a time where thriving, that upward tick that you are constantly reaching for more, striving for more, wanting more, has to take a pause. When we pause, we have to live in a state of functioning, which is taking time to embrace and enjoy what we've achieved, taking time to slow down and reflect on what we want and what we need in the next stage, taking time to lean into the people and the accomplishments that we have, right? But if we're constantly working towards thriving, like all I want to do is thrive, I just want to shoot up, we never have time for rest. We don't have time for people. We don't have time for fun. We don't have time to just let our hair down and exist. But there is a point where we need to say, okay, for right now, I just need to coast. I need to coast and reflect. There is a difference between functioning and thriving, and there is a healthy balance between the two. There also is a time and a place for both. And when you are moving through transitions in your life, take time to reflect on what kind of season am I in? Right now, do I just need to function so that I can breathe a little bit? Have I been going so hard that I haven't had an opportunity to just function? Just function and exist and breathe in the air around me. Function and exist and appreciate the accomplishments that I have made. Function and exist with the people that love and care about me. Or am I just constantly trying to get to the next thing? There is a time and a place for both seasons. And so recognizing what season you're in and what season you're headed into so that you can adequately and appropriately prepare for what that season is going to look like and give yourself what you need in those moments. The last nugget that I have for you guys is the phases or the stages of processing. These are the stages I like to talk about with my clients when it comes to processing hard things. I don't always like to use the word trauma, but when we're processing trauma, grief, some new life event that has shaken up things in our world, I like to go through this process. So we have dealing, feeling, and healing. And sometimes we exist in some of those phases for far too long. In that dealing phase, we are just simply kind of functioning. We are just moving through, not addressing, kind of ignoring, just doing what we got to do to get by. We are not really acknowledging how we feel. We're not really acknowledging that the event happened. We're just trying to move forward. In that feeling stage, we get to a place where we are starting to recognize that something big has happened in my life. Something that has impacted me has taken place. And I'm starting to feel the repercussions of just continuing to go through the motions without addressing what is happening internally. And so in that feeling phase, those are moments where you may feel like, I'm so tired all the time. I feel like I don't have any restful nights worth of sleep. I feel like I have low energy. I feel completely overwhelmed and overstimulated in certain environments. I feel triggered when I have to walk into a crowded room because it reminds me of the situation that led me to therapy. All of those things are when we start to feel. Our body starts to recognize that we're in high stress. Our emotions finally catch up with us, and we're starting to feel the weight of the things we've experienced. So we go from dealing just kind of like acting like nothing happened, being a robot, going through the motions, not acknowledging, into feeling, being like, oh my God, I actually cannot believe that happened to me, and I'm starting to feel something on the inside. Hopefully to transition into healing, to take those feelings into the therapy room and say, these are my feelings. My feelings came from this experience, and I'm ready to process and heal and figure out what to do with these emotions and this experience that I had. I'll use a good example for myself. Something that I typically was just dealing with and not taking time to reflect or feel or heal is my dad passing away. I typically, when it happened, I just dealt. Okay, it happened. Now we have to plan a service. Now the service is over. I have to move. I start my PhD program in a couple of months. I've got to figure out X, Y, Z. I was just dealing. I was just, what comes next? How can I keep moving? Then I had moments of feeling where, y'all, I think I cried maybe twice the whole year after my dad passed. And then the 1 year anniversary of his passing came, and I felt everything. And I still think sometimes I'm in the process of feeling, because so often my natural response is just to keep moving through things that impact me and not take time to feel or heal. But my new therapist, y'all, maybe I'll do a little series on that, the series of a therapist seeing a therapist, because my new therapist in day one read me my Miranda rights and pretty much is like forcing me to feel and heal and work through that process of grief. And so that's just an example of something I'm currently going through, that I can recognize that pattern in that process in myself, right? Like, we sometimes just deal with things that come our way. We just kind of chalk it on to, this happens, this is life, shit happens, things happen, and we just like, what comes next? I've got to show up for what comes next. I can't take time to feel. I've got to put my head down and move forward. And when that feeling process finally takes place, it hits us like a ton of bricks. And most of the time, what people do with that feeling process, they just sit with it. They sit with it and they ruminate on it, and they let it change their worldview, and they allow it to make them bitter and jaded, and they just sit with all that heavy weight. What I encourage people to do is take that heavy weight, take those feelings, and go see a professional. Go allow somebody to help you tailor those feelings in a way that is constructive. Tailor those feelings in a way that helps you heal and move forward. So that's it, you guys. I hope that was helpful. My little quick tidbit tips from a mental health therapist, dropping y'all some nuggets and some things that I talked about in sessions this week. Wish me luck tomorrow. We'll see how I do. My goal is to beat my time of 2 hours and 22 minutes for the half marathon. One day, I will get my half marathon down to under 2 hours. This is the day I'm going to set that goal. Today, I'm telling y'all that one day that's where I'll be. For right now, my only goal is to come in under 2:22 tomorrow. And so I'm going to go put my feet up. Well, first I'm going to go take a shower. Then I'm going to put my feet up and get ready for bed. Until then, you guys, like, comment, subscribe. Tell me how you like this video. Always and forever, thank you for your support. It means the absolute most to me. Follow me across all social media platforms at WithAngieK. And that's it. I love you. Bye.